Welcome to What People Miss. This podcast is your sacred space to practice self nurturing as a radical act and to remember that you're allowed to choose joy and pleasure even in seasons of grief, transition, and rage. Listen for what you've been missing between the feelings and emotions you are dismissing. Hi, I'm your host. My name is Cordelia Gaffar. I'm known as the ultimate joy goddess, and I'm a leadership presence strategist, joy bonding consultant, an award winning podcast host, best-selling author, and embodiment guide. Get ready to take notes and embrace ways to reclaim your joy and savor life. Today, let's talk about the real injustice against women and girls. Is it the objectification of their bodies? Is it the dismissal of their intelligence? No, it's actually economic. Because who has economic power is who gets what they want always. And even if a woman gets what she wants, she has to fight so hard to keep it. And that's an internal and external charge for her. So let's go back to where the injustice begins. Unfortunately, we pass it from generation through generation through this thing that we love called tradition. It's what causes young girls being raped by relatives. And when she shares it with her female relatives, they dismiss it because that's what happens to girls. And she might even get disciplined because she might have done something to bring it on. And what this inculcates in a little girl and her body and her mind is her worthlessness and her usefulness, right? What is she useful for? She's useful for the pleasure of others, whether that means cooking for them, cleaning for them, shutting up for them, giving them all their time and attention, all their money, and leaving their sleep, depriving and neglecting their own bodies. And it is celebrated. Even now, with all the self care and self love things that have come out since COVID. Meanwhile, some people are the OGs with that. Self nurturing is what got me through grieving my parents at 24 and 25. Self nurturing is what got me through raising my children with the unsupportive community and a monster of a husband and no relatives nearby. And self nurturing is what is getting me through this period of divorce, post divorce, and navigating how I want to be, what I want to do. And it's not accepted to do that out loud in the way that I do. I'm supposed to go and hide for like 5-6 years and emerge this goddess, but instead I choose to slowly before your eyes do that. Go from the joy monger to the ultimate joy goddess. Once upon a time, I just wanted to monger joy the way people monger fear. And now I want you to embody your ultimate joy the way I've learned to. Do you see the distinction? My transformation, my loud transformation from hijabi to non hijabi, who is perceived as provocative, sensual, sexy, is something that should be shushed and hidden. We don't talk about those things. Those type of women, right? But what type of woman am I? Morally, have I really changed? Have you seen anything outlandish? Uh, I mean, it's just a matter of perspective, isn't it? And so the real injustice against girls and women is the economic crisis that they live in because of this inner worthlessness. I've been trying to work this out for myself, you know? What is the through thread in all the stories of all the women that I know? And it's that's the way it is as a woman. Even I believed that. It's hard for me to say because I'm like, my God, I didn't know it was imprinted in me. And in fact, it's imprinted in all of us. But it's in the rejoining and reconnecting to your true self through shaking off the exterior, right? I began to understand that the the bridge to the other side where women become their own foundation is in understanding their worthiness. And that is the power of somatic movement because it's guttural, it's primal, it's instinctive, right? And it lifts the veil of what we objectify. You see me moving and dropping my shoulders, but you must feel also that I'm releasing, relieving myself of the weight, of the burdens of unworthiness. And I'm laughing because I always knew I was worthy, but there's this thing I call believing knowing, and it matters. Believing that I'm worthy, as well as knowing that I'm worthy, creates a stability that can't be shaken. And the wobbliness of the throughout the day, right? We have those seasons throughout the day where I'm worthy, I'm not worthy, I'm worthy, I'm not worthy. But if you're just always worthy, there's nothing to justify. Let me break that down. You're being performative because you feel you have to justify your worthiness all day long in many different ways to all the different audiences that you come across. Your children, your husband, your boyfriend, your coworker, your boss, your clients, when you're driving, right? You shape shift. It's exhausting. I don't shape shift. I am. And also, all the threads of unworthiness are not completely gone. In full transparency, I teeter sometimes. And when I teeter, I get to lean in a little bit closer and listen. And the body gives me feedback. She tells me what needs to be nurtured and how to do it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the gap between where you are now and where you desire to be, which is me. My stillness. That's what presence is. And that distraction is the real injustice against women and girls, because the economic distraction is you need a man, get a man, behave this way, perform so that you can have economic power. And we're reeling it back into the true self. You are worthy. And all that is required is for you to believing, knowing in your worthiness, so that you can be the economic power you were meant to be, you were built to be. And you'll thrive, and you'll savor life, and you will have options and choices beyond your imagination. You won't need a man, but if you want one, you could have any man you want, as many as you want, and they won't mind. And they wouldn't be a burden, because they would actually be useful. A world of worthiness. A world with economic focus. Stop watching the smoke and mirrors. Stay focused and start the focus within, with inner balance. In my wellness consultations, I go through the 6 lifestyle areas and see where you may be out of balance, and then make recommendations for you to bring those areas back into balance, so that you can experience this worthiness I just spoke of. And that's how you listen to your body. So, thank you for listening to What People Miss. What did you learn today? How will you choose differently? If this episode opened your mind and you're ready to turn your life around, go to my website, cordeliagaffar.com, and schedule your wellness consultation now. In the meantime, remember to choose joy and pleasure so that you savor your life. Until next week.